Hello, friends. I've had a couple good weeks at the thrift stores for silver and hopefully some gold in this bag. I've got my little jeweler's loop and my magnet that I always keep in my purse. I just keep them in this little thing, and I always have them with me so that if I find something, I can look. Now my eyes have gotten worse, and I sometimes I'll just buy something if I'm in a hurry or I don't have time to look on the bottom, or I'm pretty sure it's silver. So I posted these on a gratitude video last week or so when I found them, but I was just using the bathroom at a thrift store and thought I'd run through, like literally I was there probably 10 minutes, and it's a huge store. So I ran through and saw these on the shelf, and I thought, wow, those look like real sterling. And then when I flipped them over and I saw the plastic on the bottom, most people would go, oh, if there's plastic, it can't really be sterling. So they were $1.50 each. And if you look underneath, and I know that they weight sterling, like after a certain point in history, it was too expensive to do sterling. So then they weighted it, and then they started doing plating. So there's kind of an in-between time. And then they did different types of plating. So I want to show you. Right there. Oh, it might be too dark. Anyway, right there, it says sterling. I don't know if you'll be able to see it without. Maybe it would be better without. So anyway, it says sterling. They look sterling. I know that there's weighted sterling. It says it's weighted sterling. So this amount of sterling, take out the sand weight in the bottom, is still a good amount of silver. So this part up here is usually it's pretty solid, but then they get down here and they weight it with sand and concrete type stuff, just depending on the manufacturer. So yesterday I was at the secondhand store, same thing. I got there right before closing. I was running through. The ladies know me, and the one that's kind of iffy that started about a year ago, and I think she's been keeping some of the jewelry for herself. They don't have silver and gold. I just very rarely see it anymore. She also would mark this a lot. Now $3 is a lot for this. A year ago it would have been $1.50 because it's looks like tin. But just looking at it, after you work with silver and gold for a while, you know what it looks like tarnished, you know what it looks like polished, you know the weight of it. So you can see some tool marks in the bottom, and that kind of throws people off too, because you can kind of see the round tool marks in the bottom right there. And so you think, oh, if it's been machine tooled, it's not, like it's not real sterling. But what made me realize it, I think it probably was. Now I looked on the bottom, somebody had like moved the label to see if there was a tag underneath. You don't see any labeling there, and you can see as I move it around, you don't see any engravings. But I have seen this so many times over the years that they mark it here, they mark it here, they mark it here, they mark it. It's so small that and the tarnish covers it up and you can't see it. The weight of it felt silver. The way it bends, I don't want to bend it. Ooh, you see, if it was tin, it would sound tinny when I did that. But they started making sterling so thin because they could get more out of it, that sterling will do that, and it will have little bumps in it, and you can see like dings because it's a soft metal. Silver is actually a pretty soft metal. And this is the other thing, is you can take your finger and kind of run it. I don't want to damage this at all, but you can run it, or you can get a piece of like a knife or something, and you can kind of cut it. I'll show you on this next piece because I still don't know if I don't think it's sterling, but it's got sterling on it. So I was in a hurry, so I just went and bought it, but I don't know yet. I haven't had time to test it or do anything with it. This looks like real sterling. This is probably not. See, I mean, real sterling can go darker, but the reason I bought this was because of the scratching. I scratched it to see if it was real. It's just a darker tarnish. See how the inside kind of looks sterling? but then the outside I'm like, I don't know, but it's had more oxidation. A lot of times these handles will be put on with like a pot metal, and they'll break off, but I tried to kind of bend it a little bit and I couldn't, as far as this part off. You don't want to break this part off, but this part, actually, I'm buying it for emergency preparedness, and probably it'll be melted down anyway and used for colloidal silver or something. So, but if it's a piece like this was just the top piece. There was no bottom to it. It was marked $3. And even if, I'm sorry, you can't even see that. It's marked $3. There we go. And so even if it's just silver plated, if it's a thick plate, like an older thick plate, it's got the weight, you can take a knife, and I did this somewhere along here, and scrape the edges of it and see underneath if it looks silver. A lot of times it's copper plate because copper has the weight that they want rather than the sterling. They both have a similar weight. But the reason I bought this is because I can bend it. I don't know if you can see that, but I can bend it with my fingers, which is what I did with this one. The finger test, like rubbing to get the sterling, the tarnish off, it doesn't work on plate because there is a coating of silver, and so there will be tarnish and you can get it off. But the scrape test, oftentimes you'll see copper underneath. So if it's a piece you don't care if it's ruined and you're just buying it for the weight of it, you can use a knife or something at the store and just kind of scrape it to see if there's silver, to see what's underneath it. So if it's heavy, you think it could be copper, or you don't really see brass overlay except on jewelry usually. Usually this kind of thing is copper. So you can take, there's some scratches that are kind of deep in there, and if they're still looking silver underneath, so I'm trying to find the place where I scraped it. Anyway, I took a knife and even you can do it with your fingernail sometimes. If it's soft enough, you can do it with your fingernail and put a little dent in it because it's soft. So the reason I bought this was because the fact that I can push my thumb in and get it to move is a good sign. It's not copper for sure. So that's another test that you can do is like, can you bend it? Can you push it? Can you move it? Because sterling is soft. So I just bought this and I bought that because I did the quick tests at the store. And then I got home yesterday and I had this sitting on the counter and I just started laughing. I was like, oh, there it is. The light caught it just right. Right there, it's engraved sterling. And I knew it was sterling just by all the tests that I had done. Let me see if I can show you. It's so... right there. I didn't pull this out at the store. I didn't pull the magnet out. It's not going to be magnetic. It just had the feel and look and bend of sterling. And there we go. It's marked sterling. So when I'm doing larger items, I leave them the tag on and I write where I got it and when, and that it's sterling and that it's marked. So that if somebody's pulling it out and I die, they don't know how to check and see if it's marked. You can draw an arrow to where the on the tag to where it is, and then they know exactly how much you paid for it, when you bought it, and that it's sterling. So they could sort very quickly and say, okay, that's all the sterling. They could pop the weighted out of that and know the value of it. But the reason I do it is a different reason. I'm a nurse and I'm medical. I do massage therapy. I'm a massage therapist, and I learned about colloidal silver when my kids had allergic reactions to antibiotics. And so I had a dream. You can go on my blog and view thesecretisgratitude.com and type in, go to the web browser version, and then type in silver and dream, and up will come the post about that. I'll try and remember to link it in the bottom in the video. And that's why I started doing this. I just had a dream that I needed to collect gold and silver. And then a year or two ago, my daughter's like, why are you still buying that? You've got so much. And I just store it in a safety deposit box until the crap hits the fan. And I mean, I have enough at home. I buy silver and use it regularly for my own health. So, but I do have a silver maker. I don't recommend doing that. It would only be end times that I would make my own, but because I can buy it in nanoparticles and it's pretty cheap. So, but she asked me, and then I kind of pondered about it and prayed about it, and that the answer I got was that, you know, there will be a time probably that we won't have medical, or we won't be able to get medical necessarily, and that I would have this silver to make colloidal silver. You can also have colloidal platinum, colloidal gold, and they all work the same. They all are natural antibiotics, and they work very, very efficiently. And I don't know that, I think I've done a video about that, where, you know, the pioneers, when they came across the plains, would put silver dollars in their milk so it wouldn't rot. I mean, there's a lot of history. I've studied it a lot, and I've used it when medical science did not work for my kids with their allergies. So that is why I do this. I didn't know why I was doing it. I just had that dream and felt like I needed to. So that's why I started this. But then I'll show you how I do it. So I write on them, and then I bag them. So I put them in smaller bags, and then you can fit other things around them. But I have a video where I show how I label the jewelry and how I get it in containers that will fit easily in a safety deposit box. And then some people will ask me, why do you put it in safety deposit box? And I'm like, because I make videos about collecting jewelry, silver and gold. And diamonds, you know, sometimes I found diamonds, and I don't want to be a target, you know, for that. So if everybody's fully aware that they're not at my house, then I don't have a problem. There's nothing for them to want to come and get. So safety deposit box is a safe place, or you could bury it somewhere. I mean, there's buried treasure all over the place, but personally, I feel like I'll have foreknowledge. I think I'll have another dream. God will inspire me, whatever you want to say. I have had dreams that have come true, helping save my mother's life and other people, and I'm very close to that, and I get inspiration that way. So for me, this works, but it may not work for everybody. So that's just this got way off track. I was just going to show those cool deals. So for $9, I got a lot of silver right there. So I can't remember if I told you, you can use a welder's rose tip welder, and just start melting if you get plated items. And you can just run it over quickly, and the silver will drip, and then you can collect the silver. Personally, I hope I never get to the point where I'm that desperate for silver. You can even just suck a necklace like this in your mouth and get colloidal silver in there. If somebody's got a bad tooth and you're not in a place, like we went to Peru and somebody's tooth went bad, I'm like, suck on some gold and silver, you know, put it in your drinks, turn around, just get some particles in there. That's not the best, but if you are where there is no medical, you're in the middle of nowhere, you could do that. Or you can rub some tarnish, you know, get it on your skin, you know, and just kind of lick it or something. I'm not recommending that anybody do this. You know, we have antibiotics for a reason, and they usually work. But this is just if there's nothing else and you're desperately dying, you know, suck on your jewelry. Like, it's been valuable for years, and you want to know why? It's because it's life-saving. Anyway, this was the whole point of the video, is I got a $20 bag, and while I was there, they're like, oh, we're bringing jewelry up, because they know I love it, and that lady, weird one, is not there. And I said, awesome. And she's like, well, I put them together. And I said, okay, great. So I looked at the 3 bags. The other 2 were a bunch of costume jewelry for $20. And I was like, oh, but this one had, immediately I could see that there was some things in here that I wanted. So I grabbed it. So let's open it. And I didn't have a lot of time. Like I said, I usually get there at the end of the day, because that's when they put out the stuff for the next morning, in the collectibles case. And that's what I want, is the collectible jewelry. Because the jewelry always goes in with behind the locked key, and they have somebody there looking at it with you, so it doesn't walk off, because they have had it walk off in the past. That's why I go towards closing, and some days, I mean, I'm busy. I've got a wedding coming up and a family reunion I'm in charge of, so I didn't have a lot of time recently, but so anyway, that's why I don't always have a lot of time. So I've had to learn over the years to just glance quickly and see what they have and do it fast. Okay, I'm going to tell you something about this type of jewelry. Okay, it has a clasp, which usually means it's a little better than just cheap costume jewelry. It has a locking clasp besides having the chain, which also is a sign of higher end jewelry. You just push that and it pops off. If you look on the inside, it looks absolutely fake. The hinge and everything looks fake. However, I don't think this one is, but I'm going to share with you, sometimes they will put the cheap metal on the inside to give it stability, and then they will put a layer of gold, and some of the decorations are real gold. And they will do that because they want the bracelet to be sturdy, and then they use less gold. So just be aware, if you look on the inside of something like this and you see, that you can tell that's just like a kind of a cheap metal, don't always disregard it as maybe having some gold or silver value. So if you watch my other videos, I tell you how to look for it, but sometimes it's written here, sometimes it's written here, sometimes it's written on the inside of here and here. So on the base, like once you close it, you can see, usually they like you to be able to, except places like Tiffany's and high-end, the sterling is stamped really small, similar to that plate. It's just but it's indented deeply so you can see it. So there's that. And then if it's rolled like this on the inside, sometimes they'll, this whole thing here will be gold, and then it will just be the cheaper metal on the inside. I'm not seeing any markings. Also, you can do the magnet test. Okay, so it's not magnetic, which means it's probably brass, and that's the similar color. I'm not seeing, the color isn't quite right. It could be, but I don't think it is. I'm not seeing any indication that it is gold. I'm going to just look real quickly on these. To me, it feels heavy. It feels like it's brass all the way around, and I'm not seeing any markings anywhere that would lead me to believe that it's not just brass. And the chain also. Normally on a gold chain, a gold expensive one, the chain will be finer, and I'll show you. I think I remember seeing a gold chain in here. So you can look at it further, but I think it's just a very upper end costume jewelry. Some Claire's earrings, definitely don't want those. I do put seashells in a different category because I have a luau treasure chest that I do with, I've got all the decorations for a luau, and so when we do our family reunions, we usually use a luau theme. So I just, or, I've done it for scouts or activities, church activities. I just bag all of this type of luau stuff, and I put it in jewelry bags I get them at Walmart, and then I put the bags in the treasure box. Oh, that's an earring hanging off of there. How funny. And so any seashell things like these. Oh my gosh, that's break it. Okay, so those are actually kind of cute. I have a necklace that I think those will go with. If you watch a video like 2 weeks ago, I got a shell like that, and it's carved into a swirl, and I put it on a different chain, and I really like that, so I might keep those. But anyway, if not, I will put them in a baggie, and then we put everything in the treasure chest, and when people come in, I'm like, get your lei and pick out jewelry, those seashell bracelets. The kids really like those, so that's good. Okay, we're right into the gold here. I picked this up and the gold is on it. So, and how I know that's gold, let me try and untangle Mia here a little bit. Come on. You may have to take a second. I don't want to break that chain. I cannot tell you how many gold chains I've broken doing this over the years, trying to do it fast. You just cannot do it fast sometimes. Come on. You know what? If I open this one, maybe I can get it off. And the best way to get a knot off is to take your fingernails and just kind of wiggle. I grab my fingernails and part of the knot and I just start wiggling, and that'll loosen the knot right up. So you can see it's loosening that up a little bit. And except this one chain does not want to, oh, well, the other half dropped. Let's see, there we go. Okay. Oh, and it is broken. Shoot, I think it's how they bagged it. So I didn't want to pull on it for that reason. This little thing right here, it's teeny, teeny, tiny. It is gold, and you can see right there the chain is broken. And and a lot of times they're broken before you get the bag, and that's why they've donated the gold. But like I said, this gold isn't something I'm reselling the jewelry part, so I really don't care about the jewelry part. I'm more interested in the gold content. So when you're doing colloidal gold, you have to have pure gold. Like when you're doing colloidal silver, colloidal gold, you need sterling and near pure gold. So you have to refine it, and there are videos on YouTube about refining it. Usually they use hydrochloric acid and buckets or beakers. So I think the silver will be for healing and the gold will be for trading if you get to that point. Okay, I'm not even going to undo this knot because it is what it is. I have had necklaces repaired before, and I save the clasps. Sometimes I'll just get broken clasps or chain of clasps, and I save them because they can put a new loop on it, weld the new loop, like right there, and put the chain back together, and you want to put like chain with like chain, but you know, some people don't. I've seen all things. So you can see that that's broken. It's a laser imprinted rose. There's no value to that at all. Even the finding is probably not real on that. You can see the difference in color. See how yellow the top part is and how gold the bottom part is. So they were just looking for a gold chain to put it on, and that is a very, very fine gold chain. And the reason I know it's real is usually you can tell by the look. It's kind of a yellower color, and they have these little clasps on them. Not on the clasp. They are marked on the clasp usually, but there's a specific jump ring that they use in between, especially Italy. Sometimes China will manufacture it, but there's other indicators whether or not it is or isn't. So right there, you can see the markings. And see if I can, that might be the designer. I can't even see it. It's so small. Something. It's on the other side, it says Italy. Oh my gosh. And then the screen is reversed, so I can't even tell what I'm looking at sometimes. Let's see what it says. It's in there pretty deep. It's okay, it's 522. So let me think. 24. Oh no, it says 14 karat right there. That was, and not an MK, that was a 14K. And then on the flip side, it says, so I had it upside down, but it is got the 522 anyway. 925 is what they consider sterling and pure gold. So half of 925 is 4.5, whatever. So and 24, actually technically 24 karat is and gold is the equivalent of sterling. Sorry, I'm tired. It takes me a minute, and I always, as soon as I start talking about the numbers, I get tired. I'm already tired. So 24 karat, half of 24 is 14. So that's the 50%. 5.22% is of the item is real gold. There you go. Sorry, I'm being so tired. Okay. Also, the clasps are always marked. And oh, come on, my eyes are just getting so bad. I can see markings. Oh, it says 925. So there is 925 in gold. People say that's only for silver, but it's not. Sometimes 925 can mean it's gold plated, but usually it just means it's a standard of gold that is considered pure, but they're usually mixed in with another alloy on the clasp to make it stronger. So 14 karat gold there. The little charm is not worth anything. Somebody may like it, but that's not why I bought it. So, and then on the flip side of that 14K that I showed you, is it says Italy. Italy usually puts out some very high quality jewelry. Almost everything I've ever gotten that says stamped Italy, other than what China is putting out, is always very high quality. And they do oftentimes mark theirs 925 or 955, sorry, 522, sorry. They'll do it by the 24 karat system and or the 925. So you saw 925 was on the ring, the circle ring, O-ring, circle spring ring, clasp. The circle spring clasp was marked 925, and then the item itself was marked 522 and 14K. So that's a confusing thing. But it's smart. They marked them all three. China, sometimes you'll get real out of China, and sometimes it'll be marked, and sometimes you get fake out of China, and most times it's fake out of China, except for their pearls. Oftentimes their pearls are usually real. And also Peru, you will get, and Mexico is iffy. Their silver is usually real. Their gold is if. Thailand, however, does have beautiful gold and silver, mostly silver. So just be aware of where your items, are marked, and look at them, carefully for that, and always do the magnet test. Even in most of the fake China ones will have some magnetism to them, mixing of the alloys. And so almost every fake China one it just looks fake to me because I've been doing this long enough, but they are usually some type of magnetism to them. So just be aware. And also sometimes people can change out sorry, I'm trying to get this over to show you the next one. It's just all messed up. Oh, come on. What is going on with this stupid thing? Okay. Earring off. There we go. Gosh. This does not necessarily look real. It's kind of, if it is, it's a lower quality gold. There's a pin, a little pin. It doesn't look real when you look at the back. It doesn't have the look. It's got that sprayed look. Let's try the magnet test. Yeah, so you can see that it's, and that's what will happen to China gold, China silver. So that is not real. Sometimes I'll keep the little necklaces if I find something else that's fun in them. This is a necklace, and it's already, the copper is coming through. It's a little, just a kind of a dowsing rod looking thing, and it's copper showing. I don't know, can you see the copper showing through on that? On the little loop there. And it feels light. It doesn't feel real. It feels aluminum or something. It's very light. So that's not real. Gosh, who'd have thunk? This video is taking forever freaking ever. I'm so sorry. But what a cute little Christmas necklace. And as funny as it sounds, I have had jewelry like this be real before, even though it looks like crap. Okay, it doesn't look like crap. It's just something most people would not wear on a regular basis. But oftentimes, like, these crystals will be real. You can see they've kind of got a good glisten to them. These little gold ones, but it's sprayed on. But because it's really light too. Real crystals are heavy. So there we go. Oh, I don't know why these were so popular, like 50s, 60s. But yeah, that's not real. Can you hear it? It's just tinny. The clasps are just really tinny. But we always do the magnet test. But if I'm just alone, I don't need to do the magnet test because I can feel it. I've been doing it long enough. Well, how fun is that? That's a cute little belt buckle. It's got a mountain range and a sun, and then silver clouds. And this is copper, this is brass, and this is silver. That's cute. The sun is copper. I don't even know if you can see that, but that's unusual. It's got some markings. It kind of is heavy. It's got an arrow and a star, so I'll have to look that up and see. Some belt buckles can be really valuable. There's a copyright on it. It's kind of cute. I would actually wear that to the rate event, you know. Cheap bracelet. That's some little kids thing. But we are having a family reunion with the game that I do that's this or that, or so I'll put prizes in boxes and then I'll give them an item that I think they want. And I'll say, do you want this, or you can have something in the box? Do you want this or that? And then they get to pick a box, and oftentimes it'll have some weird, funny little things in it. So I might just put like these fake plastic earrings and a bracelet or something in it, or maybe this gaudy beaded plastic. This lovely thing. I will put that in. Somebody can have that. You can hear they're plastic. I'm not going to use the magnet on them because they are definitely plastic. Okay, so then there's these types. Some of these are real, but very rare. These are the little ones that have, they're kind of kinky, but they have this type of clasp, and this is why I'm saying I don't think it's real. Unless the clasp on a really good one broke, that's just a cheap clasp. Oftentimes they're not magnetic, so you get all excited, but this one actually is magnetic. It just looks like gold, and it could be plated, but I'm not really worried about it, so I'm probably just going to put that in a bag. And I will, if they're broken and nobody would buy them, I will put them in the gold recycling. I have a big tub of, I just throw it in there, and then I'll just sell it for, or have somebody recycle. I've got a guy in town that will recycle. This looks gold, like could look really gold, but you saw it's very magnetic. So that might be a cute prize for somebody for the game. Put that in a bag. And if you're from the East Coast, I'll put it in a bag for you. I lived there for 10 years, so I kind of, when I said bag, that reminded me of that. Okay, these are just gold chains. I've gotten these in every single bag. They're just junky gold chains. I don't know what you'd use them for, and they're super heavy. A little angel pin, angel watching over you. I never even know what to do with these. I just stick them in the Halloween, let the kids take them pile. This sample is yours for free. It's a heart pin, and I can put that as a prize. Some little girl will love that heart pin. And this little bookmark, I'll throw that in as a prize. I'll just put it all in a baggie and they can have it all as a prize. At the end of the game, I let them come and take a real prize, but it's just fun for the game. Take the box, take the box. Everybody's yelling, and then they get some weird stuff. This is the other reason I bought the bag. It has a Bavlova watch in it, and it had this watch, which Hell Brothers, Hell Bros. It looked gold. It looked like it could have real gold in it, and I was hoping it was a wind-up that would actually work, but the wind-up is broken. A lot of times they are broken. I just recently sold a two Bavlova men's watches in a weekend, $15 each. They're broken, but people buy them for the parts. So, or the weight of gold, just depending on what they're doing. So there's copper coming through on the edges of the band, so I know that that's not a value. But a lot of times the inside of the watch itself will have, it'll say gold bezel, and it will say, let's see if it says anything on here. Stainless steel back, base metal. That's all it says. Oh, bezel. Wait, base metal, bezel. So how to get in is, some of them you need a tool. There's lots of different tools, just depending on the brand of the watch. That's a newer thing for more expensive men's watches, but these old ones, you can usually just use a knife and do it. I'll always test them. Like I'll set it to like 1, and then I'll pick it up at the end of the bag and see if it's moved at all, but it's not winding. It's not taking. But oftentimes they'll just clean it and then they can put a new band on it and sell it. And they just need a little tweak here or there. Maybe sometimes put a new glass top on it. So I need to look that one up. I don't recognize that name brand. It doesn't mean that it's not valuable. It just means it's not a common one. But I did buy the bag for this Bevlova watch. It's got the little inside as well as, you know, the hours. And let's see if it says anything on the back. I didn't look closely because I knew there was already gold in the bag, so I did not look carefully at the back. Or it says Bevlova L7, and then it's got a number, serial number on it, which this has to be a newer watch because I've never seen the serial number stamped on the back of us, and the back is a stainless steel. A lot of times they're gold. So this has got to be kind of a newer one because it's got the stainless steel. So I will, and it's not winding either. So some watches, the newer, they're self-winding, but this isn't heavy enough for that. And so I will have to pull those apart. I'll probably get 15 or 20 bucks out depending on what their value is and how rare it is. They might need the parts more, so I can get $40 for it. You just have to do a little bit of research and then post it. So I have a woman's broken Bevlova on there for $15, and it's got, I've gotten a bid for 10, but by the time I saw it, it was gone and had relisted. They asked me like right at the last minute. So yeah, but I have actually sold might have been, I think it was a Bevlova, like gold, 10 karat gold or higher. They just have so many different varieties. You know, they have the modern day girl. This is not real. It's got, you can saw it as magnetized. But I probably went with this. They have a similar look to them. I think it was probably a set of gold bracelets. So anyway, it just depends. They have a whole variety of different types of, another one I have not heard of, and this is a battery operated one. Event watch, base metal, stainless steel back, Japan movement. So this one's not going to be of any value, but people will buy them to wear, especially if I just throw a good place to get batteries is the electrical supply store. If you buy them at Walmart or the dollar store, you can get them, but they don't last very long. So if you're buying one for like a missionary or somebody that you want it to be reliable, the electrical supply store in town will sell a blister pack for pretty cheap, or you can get them off of eBay. But if you're in a hurry, that's a good place. This is Carriage by Timex, so it's not like high end. So I just usually look them up, and if they're not selling for more than $25 for the style, I'll just sell it at a local yard sale. Yeah, this one doesn't even have a name brand on it. It's just stainless steel, metal back, base metal, movement, battery is a 377. So that's not even, there's no name on it. It's just a generic watch. This was $12, key number 6 at some, I'm sure, site they visited, or some site. Nauvoo. They visited Nauvoo. Nauvoo Legion, little pin. So some kid at Halloween will love that. Okay. So Halloween, you watch my other videos, I bag up the jewelry in little bags, and then I have a pirate's treasure chest and a pirate, kind of a stuffed pirate. I put him in a chair. I put a treasure chest with some of this gold. I have a bag of like fake gold that looks like exciting, and I'll put that on his lap, dripping down to the ground. And then on the ground I have a sheet with all these little bags, and they can come in and look. Obviously with COVID we haven't been able to do that, but it is what it is. So hopefully this year we can have them come in. I did have people come, and this year I just didn't want to have kids come to my door, so I did have people say, are you going to do your trick-or-treat? So what I did is I reverse trick-or-treated. I took candy to all my neighbors' kids so that, oh, that's cute, so it stands up. It's a C. And reverse trick-or-treated. I gave all of them treats and then I just turned my lights off that night. It's definitely not real. Yeah, it's magnetism to it. But that's really cute. Somebody might like that. We'll see. I don't have anybody in my world that would wear that, but okay. So, yeah, I'm hoping I can get back into it this year. I've had, parents say my kid won't let me go home until we come to your house at Halloween. And then kids will be like, I got this watch here. I'm like, yay. Well, my funniest experience with that was when the kids came back the next day and said, can you put batteries in this? I'm like, does your mother know you're here? I thought it was hilarious. This is weird. Like seashell. I can't tell if it's seashell or something. But it's magnetized, so I'm not going to worry about it. Sometimes I have a little jar I put this kind of stuff in case I need little pearls for something. This looks like it could be real, this chain up here. No. It's a feel. It's the tarnish feel, and sometimes it's just dirty jewelry, and sometimes it's silver. So I always have to double check when it has that feeling to see if it's got marked sterling on it, because it just had that feeling. And it may just be sterling plated, which I think it is because it's so okay, oddly enough, this is not magnetic. This is not magnetic. The clasp is magnetic. So what's going on is I think this is silver right here, this chain. You can buy lengths of this chain and then people make their own necklaces. So this part's silver and the clasp that they purchased is not silver because this has that silver feel and it's not magnetic. So and it's kind of a cute chain if you can see. So I might just take the chain off and donate the beads. People come in my yard sales and just buy the beads. So that one is probably going to be Frankenstein parts taken off of it. This is interesting. I feel like, what is that? A 40s person? It's like, okay, here we go. It reminds me of okay, that or regret. Princess Diana wore, I don't know, one of the necklaces as a headband and got the queen mad at her at some point. But I like those iridescent though. That could be fun. Doesn't that look like a 1940s thing? I'm not going to put doesn't it? I might put that in with the the dress ups. That's kind of a fun little thing. Anyway, but I don't have anybody to get mad at me if I wear it. That would be a fun 40s thing. Very not real tin. It's kind of cute though. I have a daughter that might like it. She's not wanting jewelry anymore, so I'm gonna just say no. Earrings, we're also gonna just say no. And a little Halloween bracelet, definitely keeping that for Halloween. Some little girl's gonna love that. Put that in a baggie for her. A little shield, and that goes inside this little hole that's a shield, and it says Armor of God. Like a little shield. So let's see if the shield says anything. Nope, the shield does not say anything. So that's cute. And that's really worn. I'm sure that was gold plated, but you can see the gold plate is completely worn off. So that's definitely not a real. Cute little clip-on snowman earrings, and I know just who I'm going to give those to. There's a little gal that doesn't have her ears pierced, and I go over every bag and drop off earrings, and she's like, I'm wearing them. I wear them all the time. So I'm going to drop those off to her because they're clip-ons. This watch is interesting. I don't remember seeing this one in the bag. Look at this one. Hold it differently. It's super heavy. It's like a flying saucer. It's really weird. It's really heavy. Oh, it's a Timex, electronic Timex. Wow. I have seen bags like this before. It's when they first started putting batteries in the back, the way they did it. But water resistant. That's kind of fun. Somebody may collect old Timexes. I don't think it's worth of any value. It has any value, but it's just a different look. It looks kind of aerospace. So it might be a higher end. I'll have to put a battery in it and see if it works and do a little bit of research. It's super heavy. Like when I say it's heavy, it is like, I don't know if you, like, it's heavy. It does feel and look like a little spaceship. I don't know if you can see that, but with the little lower wings. Okay, so this was one of the reasons I bought the bag also. Many times when you see a ring like this with the diamond out of it, they've taken the diamond out because the diamond is the valuable part, if depending on size. So they may have wanted to upgrade it to a different setting. Maybe she got arthritis and wanted to put a different band on it, an arthritis special band on it. You just never know. So usually when you see that in a bag, it's usually real, because if it wasn't real, they would have thrown it away. So usually if you see that in a bag, that was the first thing I saw in the bag, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy the bag. Then I saw the Bovlova watch and I'm like, okay, great. And then when I got home, I saw that gold chain. So I knew I had something in the bag. So that was exciting. And then you can also look in the bag and see if you can see marking. Oh yeah, that's a big old piece of 14K. Woohoo! Look at that. I don't even think you need the, can you read it? 14K. Let's see. I'm trying to get it so it's not reflective. 14K. That is a thick piece of that setting. Look at turn right side upside down. That's a heavy setting. This part's thin. Right there is pretty thin, but down the bottom, that's a chunk of change right there. That 14K. Listen to it. That was a good buy. Yay for that. Okay. Not magnetic. There was another ring in the bag and I'm not seeing it. Now I'm a little worried. Oh, there it is. It looked a little too shiny to be real. See how that, okay, let's hold these up together. This one looks like really shiny. And this one's a little duller yellow. I don't know if you can see the difference. Maybe if I put them side by side, you would be able to. Gold is usually softer and it has scratches. The plate is usually very shiny and very yellow. It could be a lesser value of gold. This is 14K, so it's going to have more of a yellow. Well, there's different colors of gold, but usually the gold they use for rings is kind of a softer yellow. So this one looks very in like never been worn shape. So I'm guessing it's plated, and because usually if it's, yeah, you can see the, I can't even, the plating is, it's not that great. So I'm going to show you two different things so that you know what you're looking at when you're looking at them. Okay, so this one has some writing in the bottom, right? See how non-sharp it is? It's kind of, there's like the edges aren't sharp. The A in the middle that's upside down right there, you can't really see the center, because when they're plating it, it's like a paint, and the paint drips into the holes and it doesn't leave a smooth, crisp edge. Also, there's holes in the plating, and so when you're looking at it, there are little areas where imperfections and flaws will show up. So let's see if I can show you some, in there, little black dots. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you. See how it's like flaky and there's little black dots? You can see that with your natural eye. You don't have to, you just have to kind of click carefully. And that would be really valuable if those were all really diamonds, wouldn't it? I don't even have a finger, ouch. It fits on kind of, it's kind of loose on that one and tight on the other one. But somebody may like it. It's very sparkly. So going in, I knew this was probably real. This was not, just by looking at it through the bag. But you can always hope. Okay, then this looked sterling. This looked silver, not sterling. It just looked silver. But then when you flip it over, you look at the back. They had it marked for $1 and nobody bought it. So then they threw it in the bag, and it's from China. So it is probably silver plated, and but it's cute. It's a little card holder for the rich man who wants to keep them nice and neat, because everybody gives cards still. But anyway, it would polish up though, and it still looks, fairly good if it was polished. I just can't imagine anybody lugging that around. It's very heavy. Yeah, it's heavy because it's got steel in it and it's silver plated. But somebody may want it for something, a play or something. Thank you. There's a thank you, but I can't tell you what the thank you is. Thank you. Oh, it's a bookmark. 2005. It's a pine cone-ish looking thing. We're going to put it right back in the bag, and some kid is going to come at Halloween, and this is exactly how this is going to go. What is this? Oh, it's a bookmark. Oh, my mom reads. Can I give it to her? So then I always let them take, if they ask, I let them take something for their mothers, because that's a sweet, gentle heart. Usually, kids are all about me, 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 but every once in a while I get a cute little soul that is worried about his mother, and I assumed it was going to jump and I just dropped it. It's aluminum. It's so light. It's not silver. There's no way. It's silver is heavy. Remember that. This is so light. It's got to be aluminum. So it's going right to the recycle bin. Also, I got a car wash token. I don't have many car wash tokens places left anymore. It's usually coins. But maybe I can find one. They also work really well at the toy places. There's not many of those left either. I think this says Boo, and I'm sure it goes on that Halloween neck bracelet that we had. And then this is odd. It's one of those clasps that you would put overalls, those old suspenders kind, but it has this on it. So I'm not quite sure. It's more like, hey, let me clasp this on and not lose my name tag or something. But you never know when you're going to need one of those. So that's the first one of those I've gotten. But you never know. And then the highlight of the bag, this is cute little old timers. It's not the highlight of the bag by far because I got gold out of the bag, but this, that's a pocket knife. It has just one blade. Yep, just one blade. I think. No, maybe not. Hold on. I think that's just the spring with the name on it. Yeah, it's to lock the blade. You have to press it to get this out. So it says press on it. So it's a cute little pocket knife. I'm watching Walking Dead. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Walking Dead. That's the name of it. I'm so tired. Anyway, I'm watching that, and I was like, oh, that's a perfect knife. You'd have to get too close for that to work. I don't know how you would hurt anybody with that knife. That wouldn't even go in to a vital organ. It's so shallow, pretty much. But it is actually kind of sharp, and you have to press it to get the blade back in. So that's got the little spring press so that it doesn't fold on your fingers, which is a nice feature. I will have to look that one up. It says old timers. Oh, and I forgot to show you, like I was going to say, so like when you're getting the overspray electric coat, the lettering is not sharp, but look at how sharp that 14K is. I mean, it's deep and it's sharp, and there's no question that it's not. Gosh, just the angle with these is so hard sometimes. what are we doing here? Right there. It's very crisp. There's right in the center of that 4 and the K. There's no question. You got reflection going on is why it kind of looks dark. But so yeah, we got 14K and 14K out of that bag. So that was awesome and worth the 20 bucks. And some fun things. I really thought that was fun. There is a little bit of silver on that. Oh, the Bovlova watches. I'm like, there was more. I know there's more. Yeah, we've got the Bovlova Hamilton, I think is and this Timex Space watch that are all kind of fun. I need to look up. So just a different bag, but I knew it was different when I bought it. So I'm going to say that was definitely a win because look at that. That's a lot of 14 karat. I actually don't even mind the setting. It's huge. Look how big that is. That's like, that'll fit on every single one of my fingers. That might have been a man's ring. That is huge. Look at the size of that. It almost fits on my thumb, and I got huge thumbs. So yeah, I don't know, but that's a fun setting. That's a lot of gold. Yay! Okay. Any questions? Feel free to ask. Check out my blog. I always do a blog post and show what I got as well as the video. Check out my channel, click subscribe. Then when you go into a notification, so you know when I got a new video up, and you can go into the videos and click the jewelry playlist, and you can see all things pertaining to jewelry on there. And or go into my blog, thesecretisgratitude.com, and go to the web version, go to the bottom. There's a search link, and you can just type in jewelry, and up will come a lot of the posts. I don't always put a post on about the bags, but if there's some really good items in there, then I'll do that. So check it out. Thanks for watching, and have a blessed day.